The Instagram skate renaissance.
There was a time not too long ago where almost every skateboarder on Instagram was posting trap edits. Jump cuts, backpacks, jewelry, huff kicks, zoom-ins, slow-mo, producer tags, beat drops, shoes, and board on the cover. And those
It's so crazy that I remember this like this was yesterday.
those pants, man. Oh my god. Let's face it, between 2016 and 2019, we saw a postmodern renaissance of skateboarding, and it all happened on the gram.
By postmodern, I mean that trap edits were a reaction to skaters getting bored of traditional skate videos and the rigid image of what a real skater was supposed to look like. And by renaissance, I mean that between 2016 and 2019, there was an explosion of creative output and expression from skateboarders, especially Gen Z and especially on Instagram.
Skating on Instagram used to be unfiltered, alive, and really heavily bass boosted, and now all we get is single clips, and all the old trap edit icons have either archived their post, turned their accounts private, or fell off the map completely. I know you guys were there. I know you guys. The worst part is, people want to act like this never happened. You ain't fooling nobody with that baby ass gun. Between the years of 2016 and 2019, Instagram and the evolving world of social media transformed skateboarding into something different. Something faster, funnier, more personal, and more chaotic. This allowed room in skateboarding for skateboarders who didn't fit the traditional mold to still leave a cultural footprint. But before we realized what we had, it was all gone. So what happened?
I think it's actually insane how many people were skateboarding in such expensive shoes.
Trap edits. And why did skateboarding?
Because if you guys know about skateboarding, whenever you do a trick at all, no matter what it is, even the most simple trick that you can do on a skateboard, which is an ollie, you're fucking your shoes up.
Skateboarding on Instagram feels so special in 2017. Before diving into the golden age, we've got to look at the roots of skateboarding online. I started skating when I was about 10 years old, so that would have been... Back then, everything I knew was from YouTube. It was circa 2013, you know, the dying days of the Sponsor Me tape, and it felt like there were two sides to consuming skateboarding media. Either you subscribed and smashed...
Wait. You think 2013 was the dying days of the Sponsor Me tape? I don't think so. I think it was like 2017.
The like button for Braille, Revive, and Josh Katz. Or you watched Naija Fade to Black, and you bought Pretty Sweet on iTunes. I don't know, maybe that was just my childhood. Now, Instagram, which went live in 2010.
Wait. There was another version before the original icon? The hell? I didn't know that.
Gave you the ability to post 15-second videos in 2013. But in March of 2016, they let you post a whole minute, which was perfect for 2 clips, a fit check, someone fighting, and a close-up of your designer brand grip tape. At the start of the trap edit era, right when Instagram stopped giving you posts chronologically, I was probably 14 or 15, and the first edits I remember...
Oh, chat, did you know that you can actually still view posts chronologically? I know at least on mobile you can. Let me make sure there's nothing bad on my... Apparently you can't do it on a desktop. Well, that sucks. Anyways.
What the Sigma? What the Sigma?
Bro. What the Sigma?
I remember seeing were of my friend Chris, who honestly was kind of there spearheading the movement. Chris and his twin Mickey, who was also posting, were 2 years older than me, and for the sake of the argument, even though they weren't as skilled as some of the top dog Instagram skaters at the time, they had eye-catching style.
Wait, that's Trippy Red! That's Trippy Red! That's Trippy Red's song!
And for the sake of the argument, even though they weren't as skilled as some of the top dog Instagram skaters at the time, they had eye-catching style, good music taste, and listened to a lot of new underground music, and were up to no good in a way that skaters and people on Instagram wanted to see. Not to raise them too hard.
What was he saying? Sorry. I'm so sorry, chat. I was listening to Trippy Red.
Top dog Instagram skaters at the time. They had eye-catching style, good music taste, and listened to a lot of new underground music, and were up to no good in a way that skaters and people on Instagram wanted to see. Not to raise them too hard, but they were and still are pretty cool. And Trippy Red and Juice WRLD are here to
Bro, I don't know how these people are doing these tricks, bro. How do y'all learn this shit?
corroborate that. Well, they're not exactly like here, but you get the idea. These two iconic SoundCloud rappers bring me to my next point, which is that this renaissance would have looked really different if SoundCloud hadn't been gaining the popularity that it was during the time. The rise of trap music in 2016 and 20...
No, literally, in 2017, I was actually unironically listening to SoundCloud. And listening to a bunch of underground artists, not even like popular ones. Like, I was listening to the Nice Dads from Kansas City, Missouri. Nobody besides me knows who they are.
perfectly coincided with Instagram edits, and in fact probably dictated the whole renaissance. Americans started to prefer rap and trap
I
music
was
over
literally listening to my friend Joseph Ancona. I was listening to his music on SoundCloud. And fuck, what's that one guy's name? Damn, bro, I gotta look it up. My likes. Quasi the Explorer. The Nice Dads. I was listening to Ashton Larold, who is the white guy that did a really good freestyle that went viral that one time. I don't know if y'all remember that. I was listening to Satori Zoom, which again, I don't know if y'all know who that is. I forgot I was listening to, like, Lecrae as well. I was listening to Landspeed, Satori Zoom, NB. All these, like, underground people that people don't even know who they are. And I was going to Satori Zoom's Instagram lives and talking to him on Instagram Live and shit. It was a crazy time, I tell ya.
for pop. And artists like Lil Uzi, Playboi Carti, X, Trippie Redd, Juice WRLD were all really killing the scene. Honorable mention to Lil Pump, Smoke Perp, and Lil Skies because, I mean, come on. We were all there. With Instagram removing the chronological feature, everyone bumping EXO Tour Life, and the rising popularity of the Rothko Color Caramel BCU pants, the trap edit was born. And you couldn't scroll 2 posts without Burberry Airy hitting the Uzi shoulder or Versace Plug doing some ridiculous trick you've never seen before down a massive double set as someone pans off in a random direction.
That's insane, bro. Like, we need to bring this shit back.
Burberry Airy and Versace Plug were really 2 skaters that were at the forefront of this whole trap edit thing. And I think they have some pretty interesting usernames that sort of speak to the style and images that were being idolized. But I think that this trap edit renaissance in 2017 was more personal than anything we've seen in skateboarding so far. People were editing their own videos and creating vignettes of how they wanted to be perceived in a way that a raw clip might not be as effective. Every song, cut, slam, and make was intentional. And every edit...
God damn! I know he didn't actually blow his head up when he hit the ground, but... That edit went crazy.
Raw clip might not be as effective. Every song, cut, slam, and make was intentional. And every edit in itself told a little bit of a story. Who this person or these people were, what they wanted people to pay attention to, what they thought was cool and different, what they thought was super skateboarding and trendy, I guess. People were skating every different type of shoe and just doing little things differently from one another that made them stick out. I can already hear the comments coming in about how every trap edit is the same. This was the first time in skateboarding history that you could make a name, following, and garner sponsorship from just having clout. If you could just throw together a wonky fit and you had a decent bag of tricks, people would turn their notifications on to start sucking your in the comments as soon as you post. But the Renaissance was also characterized by blatant shock value. Skating in expensive ass shoes and expensive ass clothing that would also just be impractical for skating. Skate park brawls, blown out bass drops, drug use, and
that's actually wild. What the fuck was that trick?
Would just be impractical for skating. Skate park brawls.
Like that one clip where I unironically accidentally copied the exact same thing Jay Schlatt said. Like, how do you learn to do that? How do you learn to do that?
Blown out bass drops.
How do you learn to do that? What the fuck?
And slams were all central components to a good skate edit. And of course, these components existed in skate videos in the past, but the difference here is that these...
I swear, a hard flip has to have the most aura out of any skateboarding trick you can do. A hard flip is the coolest skateboarding trick. That's why I tried to learn a hard flip before I even actually landed a kickflip. Because I thought it was the coolest thing ever.
These weren't just supplemental to the skating. These hijinks were just as important as the skating, if not more. One thing I'll admit about myself and my skate edits in these days, I think I had a bit of a grievance and a frustration because I could never really break 500 likes, and I felt like I was better than half the kids that were blowing up on here. But I think the problem was really just my outfit sucked, like really bad. Like worse than now. Problem was really just my outfits sucked, like...
Bro's got swamp ass. No, I'm sorry.
Like
I didn't
really
mean to expose you like that.
Worse than now. But also, people just found stuff to hate on. It's part of the game. Nonetheless, I loved making edits and sharpening my tricks to make it seem like they were super easy for me. And whether I like it or not, my malleable 15-year-old brain was really shaped by this era of skateboarding, and I think it still affects the way I skate and the way I edit and watch videos today. But like my ex-girlfriend who turned her Instagram account private and removed me as a follower, all good things must come to an end.
That's insanely relatable, bro.
2016, 2017, and most of 2018, the trap edit flourished, but towards the latter end of 2018, the novelty was dead, the editing style became stale, the underground music was mainstream, if anything, at this point, and skaters were just ready for something else. I didn't think it'd be as bland as Polars and, you know, all the indie stuff, but hey, I'm not the gatekeeper, and I'm a bit guilty of everything myself, in case you haven't noticed. TikTok rose to power in 2019, and Instagram made all videos reels and
That's actually wild. Look how it just immediately took over Instagram. What the heck? Like, immediately upon release, over top of Instagram.
in 2020, and I think that was just a nail in the coffin for trap edits. With an algorithm that didn't reward a slow-mo clip of you putting your shoes on for 7 seconds, a system that flagged "look at me" or anything from Lil Uzi as a copyright violation, and a format that replaced the treasured 1:1 aspect ratio with the 16:9 nonsense, trap edits just didn't have the soil to flourish.
Wait, yeah, can you even post those types of things on Instagram anymore? Like, I guess you could find other underground music that isn't copyrighted. I mean, I have an entire playlist on my channel of music that I promote that isn't copyrighted. Anyways, enough promoting there. But yeah, I mean, you could still do this, just people don't, because they know that the popular songs are what's gonna get them views. So
Nowadays, the skateboarding content I see circulate on Instagram is either your traditional sort of content, a raw skate clip which is so ridiculous or so bizarre that it's definitely NBD in some way, or you have your post-Renaissance edits which sit somewhere between brain rot and
what the fuck was that?
NBD in some
Wait,
way. Or you
what
have
is
your
this? Wait, he just keeps going.
post-Renaissance edits, which sit somewhere between brain rot and trap edit. There's definitely a cultural amnesia to the trap edit era, and it's pretty hard to find any of these clips or edits unless you go really deep in the archives of Instagram and YouTube. It's funny now, you've got these people who made their following from loud, provocative, and dope content, and now they're scared to post anything that's not a single clip or a black and white photo. You can make the case that those pants were embarrassing, because they were, but, you know, we all wore them at some point. Trap edits were a bridge between
Nah, I was wearing the same thing, but they were like jean joggers, and they were actually camo colors.
skateboarding and the internet, and they gave anyone, regardless of skill level or prestige, a chance to be a part of a movement and to see and feel something a little deeper than a standard skate clip. The trap edits didn't die because they were bad. They died because they were great, and everyone made them.
And you know what's fucked? I actually wore those things to school every day. I was wearing camo jean joggers to school.
I think people just couldn't take watching a skate edit that perfectly matched every beat of the song, included too many slow-mo roll-ups.
I thought I was the
and that
coolest
one more
person ever.
Would push them over the edge. Although the trap edit is dead for the most part, there was a time where skateboarding online was loud, weird, annoying, and I think more personal than it ever was. And I'm glad that
Yeah, we need to bring that shit back. I'm not gonna lie. Just start posting that shit on TikTok. For real, like, you can add the music in post. Like, literally, you can use the sounds feature on TikTok to just add the music in.
I got to grow up through.
It's that easy.
Because you just had to be there. And if you were there, comment below who your favorite skateboarder from the Renaissance is, because in the next video, we're going to be reviewing them.
Anyways, fire video, bro. Wait, I gotta watch some more of this guy's videos, possibly. Do skateboarders have aura? Sadly, not anymore. No, not really. But we wish we did. I say we as in, like, as if I was, like, an actual skateboarder. Is skateboarding different around the world? Yes. Yes. Skateboarding is almost non-existent in Missouri. In California, it's the biggest pastime ever. Still, I feel like. But in California, you're still fucking hated on every 5 seconds for skateboarding. So it's like you have a give and take there, you know? You get what you get. That's just how it works. But yeah, good video. Everybody go subscribe to this guy and like and comment on the video. And watch the whole thing if you can. Whoa, bro's got a whole Lego Millennium Falcon? Fuck, I'm jealous of you, bro. Anyways, that's the end of this video.